hello everyone. I think we can start. So half of us are joining offline and half online. So so today will be the first day, the introductory day of the whole course. Today we're going to talk about the syllabus, which I drafted, which can be later on adjusted. We'll see how everything goes. And then I'll introduce the resources that we're going to use, that you have to register on for later problem solving and everything. And also, we also are going to talk about the apps that you have to download as Visual Studio or something, like an that you're going to write the code in. Okay, I think we can start. So the whole course is going to be divided into two divisions. Division for beginners and then division for middle to advanced. It was pretty hard to divide very clearly because the range of knowledge is very wide. Many people know very different things. So it's going to be very flexible in a way of you might also join before the lectures. I'm going to post the information in a group chat as for example during this lecture we're going to cover this topic and it's recommended for this division. And then if you find the topic interesting for you, even though you're not in the division, you can join anyway. And it works both ways. So for the beginner division, we are going to start from very zero, basically just very basic C++ introduction, starting from very scratch, and then later just adding up basic topics that you have to know for later algorithm learning and everything. Let's go through the beginner division very quickly. Basically, we're going to start with the C++ introduction, the fundamentals as main function, libraries, std, and etc. And then data types. I'm going to share the Google Sheets later on, so you can still take a look. If-else conditions, while loops, arrays, ND arrays, dynamic arrays, sorting, set, map. The whole thing is just very necessary thing to know for later learning. And the course doesn't end like this. For beginners, we're also going to cover things that are going to be learned in advanced. It's kind of over basically it shares some of the topics, right? So, and for the middle to advanced division, we're going to cover we're going to start from prefix sum, 2D prefix sum, two pointers, sliding window, binary search on the answer, functions and recursions. This is also going to be covered in the beginner. Graph, very fundamental graph theory, Oh, this is another version of the Google Sheets. I have to. Okay, never mind. So, and then vertices, edges, BFS, DFS, trees, and then after we are going also to cover dynamic programming as simple DP, regular DP, with some examples. And then for the graph, we're going to cover a lot of topics on the graphs. Dijkstra, top sort, DSU, mean span tree, prim, Kurzweil, Floyd-Warshall, and so on. One of the very nice topics is segment tree. We're going to cover it at the end. And then bin lifting and LCA. This is just a draft of the whole curriculum. Basically, you can join any lecture if you find it interesting for you. And then we can also, let's say, talk about adding some topics if you find something interesting for you and you need, if you want it to be covered. We are going to do probably for each division, we're going to do 2 lectures per week. We will fix the timing of the lectures, so it can be very convenient to adjust the timing. And then we are going to use 2 main resources for the whole course. One is USACO Guide. It's the USA Olympiad, like competitive Olympiad or something, like I don't remember how it's open. But anyways, it is basically created for the whole US structure of Olympiads. To train, to like practice. It is created by a very, very strong person, if you know Benjamin Q. And here we have like all of the topics from the advanced covered here. So, and the very nice part here is that, for example, like binary search, we'll have the whole practice problem sets for the topic, like from easy to hard. And then as we cover the topic, we also are going to cover the practice set, like problems to, to write the code for the topic. And then I'll also share some other problems to practice on as kind of homework. And then the next very important resource that we're going to use is Codeforces. This is a big resource that people use for competitive programming. It has both like huge problem set to practice on, and also online contests where you can practice how it feels to actually write the context under the pressure and then with very limited time. It usually lasts like, I don't know, from 2 hours to more. And it has like several divisions starting from the very beginning, like D4 to D1. So what we are going to do during the whole summer is we are going to very importantly participate as much as possible in the contests that are going to be usually commonly placed in the Codeforces. You can register, so you have to make an account for this. It's very easy, you just have to register, and then to join the competition you just register to the competition and you start. It's basically, let me show you. It's several problems you have for this, I don't know, 2 hours, and then for each problem you have the statement. It's usually it's gonna be the whole, let's say, structure of the problems that we are going to face later on in competitions. It has statement, input, output, example, and you have to write a code that will be submitted to the judge, and after the online check, if the submission accepts, which means it passes all of the test cases, you get the point, let's say. So we are going to work on that. Basically, we are going to learn how to solve very, very different kinds of problems to later on solve them during the competitions. And also, Codeforces is going to be used other than the competitions. For practice, we can also use the problem set. It has several hundred thousands of problems with different difficulties you can choose. As here, the name, the text, basically the topics that it's going to be including, right? So on your free time, if you want to practice, you can also practice from here. Just put the difficulty and then randomly start to solve stuff. And also, other than this, for the beginner division, we are also going to use the Codeforces for, I found this, let's say, set of problems, which are not covering algorithms, but also covering just the simple C++ to practice. As we are going to learn the topic, and then afterwards I'm gonna share the problem set for the topic and recommended problems to solve to fundamentally fix the knowledge. And yeah, That's it. And then also, other than all of this, you also have to download the IDE. This is the place that you're going to write the code in. I can recommend two of IDEs. It's either going to be Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. I believe if you have Mac, you can only download Visual Studio Code. So, like you can try, and if you have any other, like if you have any questions during the installations, any problem, you can either search online, like as ChatGPT or Cloud, or text me and I'll help you everything, like to set up everything. And yeah, or Visual Studio. I think for the introduction so far that's it. Any questions? You can also get questions from the Zoom. Like if you have any questions, you can just turn on the mic and ask it. Okay. So also, all of the lectures are going to be recorded, and we'll have a channel where we'll collect all of the recordings in order. So if you have skipped any of the lectures, or if you find anything difficult to understand at first, you can just rewatch the whole lecture or the part that you didn't understand. Yeah, I think that's it. And also about the timing of the lectures, we'll have. I think I'll share like a tool to choose the time slots, which is more convenient, like the most convenient for you, and then based on the people selections, we'll just collect data and then choose the most convenient time. And also, other than the lectures, we are going to have the editorials, which is basically after every single contest that we will have in Podforces. We are going to discuss the problems, basically go through every single problem from the easy to hard, and then discuss any questions that you have, any questions, and then the solutions, and then the code if needed. Yeah. So today is just introductory. So after you set up every account that I said, I'm going to share the links of the resources and also links to download the IDE. So after you download everything, after you set up everything, we are going to start the lectures from the next week. And then we'll share the time of the start later on in the group chat. So I think that's it for today. I don't have anything more to share. So see you next week during the actual lectures. Thank you. If you have any other questions, you can ask right now. There's a question in the group chat next week when we're going to share the time in a group chat after we discuss like the availability for everyone. But probably the time is going to be from 2 p.m. Like starting from 2 p.m. and then like depending on the topic, it can last up to maybe 12 hours, but not necessarily. And about the days, it's probably going to be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and also maybe Saturday if people want. So another question, will the divisions also be discussed on the group chat? No. How the divisions are going to work is basically I decided to, basically you'll have the free access to every single lecture as it is, which means like I'll share the information about the topic that is going to be covered, and then what estimated division it is, and then based on your knowledge and based on like how you feel about the topic, you can join and try, or not, if you already know the topic. But I believe during the form that everyone did, the division that is selected is more or less like close to the reality, like as you can. So yeah. Please let me know if you have any other questions afterwards, as we finish, like for example, again about the ID installation, about any accounts and everything. I'm going to share the Google Sheet link with the topics and then the links over here. And then I'll also add the ID installation links. And then you can set up everything after. Sure. One option is going to be the Visual Studio, right? There's a free version. Oh, okay, never mind. Yes, yeah, good point. So let me try to show you. And then the Visual Studio Code. Let me share the. so here's the link for the worksheets, and you can enter and try to download. Let me also share the Visual Studio Code link if you have Mac or prefer this software. So for the Visual Studio, you will have to also download the C++. Let me show you just a second. So here you will have, after you install, you will choose what packet you're going to install, and then you have to choose desktop development with C++. And then afterwards, after you download everything in Visual Studio, you will be able to basically create new project. And then you choose empty project in C++. You choose the location, and then you can create the source, and then start coding, right? And then for Visual Studio Code, you'll have to download extensions first to be able to basically just search in extensions window C++ and then download like C++ run, like run folder, and then the whole C++ basically. Yes, you can see like the official mark. It has community version, which is also free. Yes. So yeah, as Professor Gu said, for the students, I'm repeating for the for the students, we have like special offer from the university. You can also download like the educational version of the Visual Studio for free and get more, let's say, functions. But but the community is already like, you know. So yeah. And then also in the USACO guide, in the problem sets section for each like topic, there are links to other resources which I didn't mention, but we'll also use. But they're not primarily, that's why I didn't mention them. But basically, for example, like for binary search, let's say, you have the problem set here, and it has, for example, Outcoder. It's another, it's Japanese website, like alternative for code forces, or for example, Success, which is very, very nice problem set where you can also practice. If you need any additional practice, you can just text me and I'll share more. But it's more, it's basically every single topic, every single problem is covering like some topic. It's very like, awkward. And yeah, if you have time, please also register in those other websites, like Coder and also the exercise. So later on, we don't spend time on registration. And then also for some special cases, if you don't find the curriculum, let's say, difficult enough, you can also just reach out to me. And I'm also thinking about hosting like a, let's say, code free division, which is just you sharing the topic, which is quite difficult compared to the curriculum. Because the curriculum is just based for everyone, but if you find the curriculum not like too easy, you can find the topic that you want to be covered and then share it with me, and then we can have lectures specifically covering this topic. And then also everyone can join if you find it interesting. And then also, if you think that you know enough for the second division, but you never had experience in C++, that's also fine. We are going to do maybe one lecture like for advanced people who don't know C++, like a transition, very fast transition, to just cover the basic syntax and everything that you need to know to be able to basically do everything in C++. And then for the beginner division, like, you don't have to worry about anything because we're going to start from very zero from the language. So if you have any other questions, please ask. Or otherwise, I think we are finished for today. It was a short introductory to the whole later on structure and how the course is going to be. Thank you very much. Thank you. Again, sorry. Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.